Accentuate the positive.
Always look on the bright side of
one bad movie at a time.
Welcome to Your Movie Rocks, an alternate ending podcast where all movies are great movies.
Even the bad ones?
Especially the bad ones. I'm your host, Mandy Albert, and with me this month is my old podcast buddy, who also happens to be my husband. Hi, Josh.
Hi, Mandy.
So this is I guess it's not actually my birthday episode, but it's the episode closest to my birthday, which of course means that you gave me an absolutely fantastic movie to watch, doesn't it?
Do I give you any other kind?
No comment. None whatsoever. In case you are joining us for the first time, let me explain a little bit about how the show works. For every show, my guest assigns me a movie to watch, and we discuss the movie. Just like the 10,000 other movie podcasts you listen to, except there's a catch. No matter what, I am only allowed to say nice things about the movie. My guests can say whatever they want, but me, only nice things. And furthermore, only sincere nice things, not I loved it when my secondhand DVD stopped working. If I have nothing nice to say, I'm lying because every movie does something right, because they're all good movies. So Josh, darling, what good movie did we watch for this month's Your Movie Rocks?
So, as a way of introduction, last time I was on this podcast, I had you watch Tenet.
You sure did.
And between Tenet and I think Lawrence of Arabia, you told me something along the lines of, boy, you people are giving me good movies. You're too
Did
nice.
I say that about Tenet?
Maybe not exactly, but I think
Tenet was very okay.
Yeah, you gave me the impression that you didn't feel enough bad movie in all this.
I mean, in the interim.
So I decided then and there that, well, especially given that its sequel is coming out very soon, now is the time to give you the 1993 Super Mario Brothers.
And why was it the time, aside from the Super Mario Galaxy movie animated by Illumination Studios coming out in what, the summer?
It's April 1st.
Oh, April Fools.
Yeah,
Great.
no, I was timing this.
You were.
I'm timing this. I'm hoping that we can get like a huge wave of listeners like, ooh, they got the new Mario movie?
That's not going to happen.
We can dream.
You can dream.
We can definitely dream. That's what Mario does in Super Mario Brothers 2. The whole thing was a dream.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
The Super Mario Brothers 2 game, if you make it to the end of it, the end credits show that the whole thing was a dream.
Oh, haha. You're going to have to distinguish movies from games here as we're talking about these things.
Okay, that is reasonable.
Because they're very different.
Fair enough.
Especially when it comes
Although
to...
if I was to say Doki Doki Panic, you'd know what I was talking about, right?
Yes, I would. Thanks to you. But this is not a podcast about video games.
No.
And we are talking about Super Mario Brothers 1993 as distinguished from the Super Mario Brothers movie, which was released a couple years ago.
Yeah, in 2023.
In 2023.
We will call that Mario 23, and this one we might call Mario 93. Or we might not.
We're probably going to call it a lot of different things.
Probably, yes. Anyway, my background with this film...
I was going to say, I know your chief concern was, of course, topicality, as we always strive to be.
Of course.
But what might have been some of your other reasons for assigning me this movie?
So I believe that I saw this movie on a bus. You see, back in my younger days, I was in a marching bands. And we'd go on big trips, and we'd get those buses with the VHS players in them.
They played this on a band bus?
This was college.
They played this on a college band bus?
Yeah. The sousaphones, shout out to all of you who are listening, were very immature.
So you guys picked the movie?
Yes.
Oh.
Well,
wow.
not me personally, but
what?
Some of the other sousaphone players. And I remember watching it and thinking, what the heck did I just watch? And so I thought I'd give you that experience.
Ah, okay. All right. Makes sense.
It was kind of one of those, how did that possibly happen?
This is also another very important milestone for the podcast because this is the second movie I have watched for Your Movie Rocks that featured a diegetic rendition of Roxy Music's Love is the Drug.
And probably not the last.
I don't know about that, but I guess we'll see. This might end up becoming a periodic, maybe once a year theme.
You know what you need to do, Tim.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Anyway, would you like to tell the nice people who are listening at home a little bit more about this movie beyond just you didn't understand what the heck you just watched? Pretend I know nothing about Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, boy. So Super Mario Brothers, well, it goes back to Donkey Kong, but let's just say 1985, very good, very popular game, Super Mario Brothers. It had some sequels. Global phenomenon, and Nintendo decided, the games makers decided, why don't we get a movie about this?
Makes sense.
And most people will tell you that then they stopped caring about the content of the movie. Later on, I'm going to tell you some things that contradict that. But in general, they let Hollywood do their thing, and they did. They brought in directors. I can't remember their names. It was
Rocky Morton and Annabelle Jankel.
Yeah, they were primarily known for Max Headroom in the 1980s, which is a very strange. What would you even call this?
It's a dark satire, I would say. I don't know. I haven't seen much of it.
Not cyberpunk, but like computer 80s.
But it's
techno weird.
It's about like computer asshole Richard Dawson. Is that a good description of it?
That's actually, I think, a fairly good description of it. Yeah. And they decided
it's a weird show.
They decided, hey, these are the people that we should get to create this giant blockbuster movie based on a video game, and this would be like the first movie based on a video game to be good.
I thought
this would not.
Wait, hang on. Had there been? So I know there was like the Japanese animated cartoon of Mario.
Yeah. No.
Was this not essentially the first video game movie?
It was roughly the first video game movie. Hollywood didn't really want to mess with video games. They thought they were above it.
And they got $40 million to make it. Mm-hmm. And the directors, I understand very reasonably, thought that this was going to be their big breakout project.
Yeah,
their Batman.
They wanted to make it like Batman.
The Tim Burton Batman, to be clear.
Oh, yeah. It would have been very strange if they were trying to make it like one of the Nolan Batmans or something like that. But, time paradoxes.
Don't even start.
I have bad news for you. Anyway. Yeah. But then some other people, I think the producer, was it something Jaffe?
Roland Jaffe.
Yeah, Roland Jaffe had some other ideas for what the movie should be like. And there were some rewrites and some more rewrites and
so many people just having ideas at each other.
And some filming and some improv, and a movie came out of it.
It did.
And it is, I would argue, very, very loosely based on Super Mario World, the video game that came out, and I believe it was 1990.
Well, do you know what?
What?
I loved this movie.
Wow.
So let's talk about why we love this movie. So my understanding, and this is a little bit sad, we might have fallen down a little bit of a rabbit hole after we saw the movie, but my understanding is that the cast, by and large, do not look back fondly on the making of this movie, which is a shame, because the experience of actually watching the movie and watching them is a lot of fun. If you have... No, I think honestly, the less awareness you have of Mario as a pre-existing concept, the more primed you're going to be to enjoy Super Mario Bros. 1993, which is a problem because I'm sure the people they expected to go and see it were people who were already familiar with the Super Mario Bros. IP. However, if you go into this with no expectations that it's going to be anything whatsoever like the Super Mario Bros. Games, you are going to have a pretty good time. Because one thing this movie never is boring.
I'll agree with that.
It is not always coherent. And that's not necessarily a negative. I haven't broken my rule, but it is never boring. This thing keeps moving.
And it moves in directions that you probably were not expecting.
It begins by moving in directions that I was not expecting. The very first thing that happens, pretty much, is that we learn that dinosaurs still exist in a parallel universe to 20th century Manhattan, Brooklyn.
I mean, that is something...
Brooklyn-Hatton.
That is something that you learn if you didn't already know it, which I already did.
Indeed, but I did not, and I was quite surprised to learn it. So, if you do know your Mario, you know that Mario's major class of enemies are this species, family, mob, all of the above, called the Koopas.
Yeah,
whom I had always understood to be turtles, given that they have shells.
Yes, they do appear to be generally turtle-like.
But for this movie, we have jettisoned the notion of turtles for dinosaurs. The Koopas are now dinosaurs.
And I'll point out that this was perfect timing. I mean, 1993, dinosaurs, Hollywood blockbuster.
Yeah.
You have to think of the Super Mario Brothers movie. That was... I mean,
it was the first one.
I can't think of any other reason why people would be thinking about Hollywood dinosaurs in 1993.
It was the first big one in 1993.
There was another one?
It was released about 2 weeks before Jurassic Park. Oops.
Oops.
Oops, indeed. But again, not an actual knock on the movie. You can't help your release date. I mean, sometimes you can, but the movie cannot help its own release date. So the correct way to think about the Koopa dinosaurs, who have this entire alternate civilization set up in a parallel dimension, just watch the movie and accept all the things that I am saying. If you have seen the sci-fi Britcom Red Dwarf, the best way to understand these is as a dead serious version of Cat from Red Dwarf.
In that they once were a primitive species, and over millions of years they have evolved to basically be a funny person.
To basically be amusing humans, yes.
Yes. But I would say that's probably where the similarities end.
There's some fashion choice similarities, especially when we get to Iggy and Spike, who are the two who remind me most of Cat from Red Dwarf.
Okay.
But indeed, that is where the similarities end, because at no point is it indicated over the course of at least what I've seen of Red Dwarf that you are supposed to take the existence of cats seriously. Whereas I do get the impression that the creators of Super Mario Bros. 1993 wanted me to take the existence of the Koopaverse parallel dimension, which is either called Dino York or Dino Hatton, depending on what part of the movie you're in, entirely seriously.
Oh, yes. No, this was dark, gritty realism.
Yeah, no, that was the director's vision for this, apparently, was that they were basically going to make a Batman Blade Runner type thing set vaguely in the Super Mario Brothers universe. And then some people came in and said, but what if we didn't do that? And hijinks ensued. But getting ahead of ourselves, or maybe behind ourselves. So the point is, it's constantly pulling crazy crap out of its, I don't know, ears, eyeballs, weird...
Ovipositor?
Yes, that thing. pretty much from the first shot. One of the first things that you see is an essentially what appears to be a human baby hatch out of a dinosaur egg surrounded by awestruck nuns. And that's in the prologue.
So here's the thing. Okay, so I'm going to have to bring up something. I think this is a little bit surprising to most people. So most people think that Nintendo was very hands-off on this story.
Uh-huh.
But that's not true. So one thing that many people don't know is that in the 2023 Illumination Mario Brothers movie, they had actually given some tips to the Illumination animators on how they wanted Donkey Kong to look. Because Donkey Kong was going to be in a game that released in 2025 with a different look and attitude. And they wanted to get that started in the movie. I believe, and this is original research, that Nintendo was doing the very same thing in this movie here. And they wanted to start off with Baby Daisy showing up there. Now, you see, the existence of Mario characters as babies would later become popular in 1990, I believe it was 1995's Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island, with the introduction of Baby Mario. Now, Baby Daisy would come somewhat later. Baby Daisy was originally showed up in Mario Kart Wii from 2008, and also Super Mario Sluggers from that same year.
Did she hatch out of an egg?
Presumably so, because it's all canon.
Were there nuns? Are nuns part of the official Super Mario Brothers video game universe now?
Certainly, absolutely.
Okay.
No question.
Why not?
And just continuing on Baby Daisy, it is important to note that Baby Daisy, one of the first things that she does before she becomes a toddler is she goes to medical school and gets an MD. And that's why Dr. Baby Daisy shows up in Dr. Mario World in 2019. Dr. Baby Daisy, of course.
Okay, so first of all, Nintendo, when you keep pulling things like Dr. Baby Daisy out and sticking them in your games, you can hardly blame Rocky Morton and Annabelle Jankel for their own level of experimentation.
I'm just saying
this franchise begs for a certain level of experimentation.
They are just trying to follow the sacred Mario timeline.
Yes.
Now,
we'll go with that.
I understand that following the sacred Mario timeline is somewhat difficult. This is one of those split timelines where the exact version of the timeline you're on depends on whether Kirby manages to save Peach or Zelda during the subspace emissary fight against Petey Piranha. But they put in so much effort. I really applaud their work on keeping up the canon.
So if you want a good sense of what watching the movie is like, it's a little like trying to follow the conversation that's happening between us right now, where just hard left turns into randomness keep happening. So we have the baby born from an egg who then grows up to be Samantha Mathis, who is a college student working on a dinosaur dig. And this is portrayed as something...
You can say paleontologist.
She's a college student, though, isn't she?
Well, probably a paleontology major or something.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, a paleontology major, if you must nitpick. This is portrayed as something... This is how you can tell that this came out before Jurassic Park, because this is portrayed as something, like, nerdy and boring and uncool to everybody except Luigi, one of the titular Mario brothers, who was played by from all appearances, 12-year-old John Leguizamo, pre-John Leguizamo stardom.
By the way, John Leguizamo was the only cast member who, not the only one, but he has generally fond memories from the shoot. But I think that's largely because he got to drink with his co-star.
With his co-star Bob Hoskins, who plays Mario, or to be specific, Mario, because Mario is his first and his last name.
Of course.
This is made a big deal of.
Absolutely. Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure basically John Leguizamo was not able to get his own liquor because he looked like he was 12. So he needed Bob Hoskins to get it for him. So this was just fantastic for him.
I wouldn't be surprised because, yeah, he looks so young. It looks like we have one brother who is 40 and one brother who is 12. Which is not unheard of, but in any case, these two are brothers and plumbers, and actually the movie starts off shockingly similarly to the 2023 Super Mario Brothers movie, in that they are a pair of, up-and-coming but sort of down-on-their-luck plumbers who are looking for greater purpose in life when they run into Daisy, and Luigi immediately falls in love.
As you
do, because of, I don't know, the sexy way she uses a payphone or something.
She knew how to use that receiver.
And so they attempt to go on a date at the Dino Dig site, which is also the site of some kind of rivalry between the Mario brothers and a rival plumbing firm headed up by some Italian-American ethnic stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
But on the course of their date, lots of things can go wrong during a date, and on this particular one...
I mean, if you do go on a date at a dig site, it's a pretty good chance you're going to get to bone.
We're going to pretend you didn't just say that.
Good idea.
Anyway, lots of things can go wrong on a date, and on this particular date, the thing that goes wrong is that Daisy gets kidnapped and taken off to the parallel dimension of Dino York, where we find out pretty quickly that she is a secret dinosaur princess.
As you do.
As you do. Sometimes you find out weird things about yourself in college. Daisy finds out that she's a secret dinosaur princess, and not her dad, but the new president, king, something. He's credited
He seems to be elected.
He does, but he's credited as both president and King Koopa.
I think that this is one of those sham democracies.
Okay. Anyway, he's played by Dennis Hopper with a really bad hairstyle. So Daisy was the daughter of his rival, the king that he deposed.
Yeah, the original king. Yeah.
The benevolent monarch whom he deposed in very secret and sordid ways. And so he needs to dispose of her in some fashion in order to retain his control over the kingdom.
Well, rather, he wants to get the meteorite fragment that she has.
Yes, she has a meteorite necklace that he needs. The meteorite MacGuffin necklace.
And he's going to use that in order to merge the two realities.
Right, so that he can take over both of them. But he also kind of needs to get Daisy out of the way so that she doesn't pose a threat to his weird despotic rule.
Yeah, being as this is a 1990s movie, there are, of course, themes of environmentalism, limited resources, building up of trash, things like that.
Yep.
I mean, it was the 90s. That's just how it was.
It was. It's about as save the rainforest-y in a movie that never, as you can get in a movie that never mentions saving the rainforest.
Did it even have trees?
I'm not sure it did.
Yeah, no, not a very rainforesty, but definitely environmental.
Like honestly,
like urban environmental sort of stuff.
Honestly, the design of Dino York or possibly Dino Hatton is kind of neat. It's very, I would describe it as very, not Blade Runner exactly, but definitely inspired by Blade Runner.
Oh yes, definitely.
It's very, gritty urban dystopia, dark fantasy type thing. You have seen this set before, but it is a neat rendition of it. It's got a little bit of, not exactly cyberpunk, but certainly a punk rock feel to it. It actually reminds me a little bit of the cityscape in Howard the Duck. There were a lot of things in this movie that reminded me of Howard the Duck.
Well, that's just crazy.
Is it now? But yes, so they're off in Dinotopia. This brings me to actually one of the other things that I really appreciated about the movie. It's got a great score.
I was going to say, I would almost argue it has two great scores. When things get serious, like at the church or during some climactic battles, it's full, like, brass, bombastic, like, it's great. And then when it's during the parts that were obviously rewritten to be funny, it's goofy. It reminds me a lot of the score to, for example, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, which was not Alan Silvestri, but...
Yeah, Alan Silvestri did the music here. You told me it was supposed to be Jerry Goldsmith, and then he had to back out, so they got Alan Silvestri.
Did I tell you that?
I think you did, yes.
I might have, I might not have, I don't know.
In any case, I understand that to be the case, but just as Jerry Goldsmith has done with some interesting movie assignments, Alan Silvestri did really, really, really good work here, and I appreciate that the score knows when to get out of the way. Like, the score never feels inappropriate, and it shuts up when it needs to shut up. This is not always the case with action movie scores or fantasy movie scores, where oftentimes I would like them to quiet down a little bit during certain moments. But there was never a point where the score felt intrusive. It always just felt very propulsive, very peppy at the times that it needed to be very peppy, very bombastic at the times that it needed to be that. It's just a score that matches the movie it's in very well.
And then there was that part where I believe it was Funiculi Funicula was playing in a minor key, and it was... Oh,
that was Funiculi Funicula, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh! Yes. Good job.
I do my research. Also, I just recognized it.
I meant good job to Alan Silvestri, but yes, good job to you too.
Okay, fine.
So yeah, it's set to really, really fun music. I would listen to the soundtrack of this movie, both the score and also the surprisingly good needle drops that I don't want to get to quite yet, because first I want to get back to talking about the cast.
Okay.
So who were your favorites in the cast? Who are the MVPs here?
Oh, okay, definitely, what's her name? The actress who played Big Bertha.
Yes, the actress who played Big Bertha, Francesca P. Roberts, whom I do not believe I have seen in anything else, but I wish I had.
Yeah, I mean, she did have somewhat of a career, but not a big name, not a big role. But she absolutely...
But a Big Bertha.
She absolutely ate, like, all the scenery in every moment that she was on there. And I would argue she had the most moving arc of any of the characters.
Interesting.
I mean, just... like this romance between her and Mario.
Was it a romance? It was very one-sided.
One-sided,
if
yes.
So,
First,
if we can back up a little bit,
okay.
though, for those of you who are familiar with Mario game lore, but who are not familiar with Super Mario Bros. 1993, Big Bertha in this is not a very large fish. She is, in fact, a very large woman and is the
Yes.
bouncer of a location in Dino York or possibly Dino Hatton called the Boom Boom Bar, where many of the very best set pieces in this movie take place.
and she has the best costume.
She has a great costume.
Oh my goodness.
That dress. The costumes in this are amazing.
That dress, it's got spikes on it, but not like metal spikes. They're just like dress spikes. I don't know, fabric spikes. It's wonderful.
The sequence where she and Mario are dancing, and he's trying, because she at this point has Daisy's meteorite necklace, and Mario is trying to get it from her. And she and Mario are dancing very seductively to a nice slow song in the Boom Boom Bar. And Mario is very clumsily trying to remove the meteorite from around her neck. And it's both a very funny scene and also a very sweet scene. They have really good chemistry. Yeah. They have much better chemistry than Mario and his actual like movie plot girlfriend did.
I completely agree.
Because Mario has a movie plot girlfriend named Daniela, who is also an ethnic stereotype.
Mm-hmm. Now, I apologize in advance to everyone for what you're about to hear. So there are actually 2 large fish in Super Mario Bros. 3, which I had not realized until I was looking some things up. So there is Boss Bass, not to be confused with Boss Nass, and Big Bertha. Boss Bass is the one who jumps up out of the water to try to eat you.
Okay.
And Big Bertha is the one under the water who emits smaller fish from her mouth.
Oh, okay.
And
do you dance sexily with her?
No, but frankly...
Are you sure?
That is a missed opportunity.
Isn't it just?
Yeah.
I think they should fix that pronto. Because it worked very well in this movie.
It absolutely did. And I will assume that there is some reason, I haven't figured it out yet, perhaps it will be explained in a future game, why this fish became this woman, or vice versa.
I cannot decide whether that sequence or the Dancing Goombas sequence is my favorite one in the movie. But they're both excellent. Just the uses of music in this movie in general are fantastic. I have no complaints about any of the needle drops. Great use of Love is the Drug. Great use of the George Clinton version of Walk the Dinosaur. Both in the movie and in the credits. And as we already said, great score. So, okay, so you liked Big Bertha. Who else were our standouts?
I mean...
because I know I have my votes.
Obviously, Bob Hoskins is Mario. And
I forgot that Bob Hoskins was British. I never would have guessed if I didn't know.
He does a good job.
He does. He pulls off a very good cartoonish Brooklyn accent.
It's like so good you would believe that that's his... You would believe that he is secretly Danny DeVito inside of a Bob Hoskins suit.
I was going to say, they did try to get Danny DeVito for this, right?
Because
Danny DeVito's the obvious choice.
I think they actually tried to get him to direct.
Oh.
But
that would have been something.
Danny DeVito is the obvious choice for that role. But Bob Hoskins did a fantastic job. I really felt that the brotherly relationship, despite the 20-year age gap between Bob Hoskins' Mario and John Leguizamo's Luigi, was was great.
It worked out. And you know what? I liked it a lot better than the brother relationship in Super Mario Bros. 2023.
But we're here to talk positive things.
We are, but we're here to talk positive things about the movie that we watched for this. I can talk shit about other movies all I want.
Okay.
And in Super Mario Bros. 2023, which I have seen, unfortunately, several times because our son really likes it, Luigi's kind of a load. Like, he complains and he is useless, and then he gets kidnapped and doesn't do anything for most of the rest of the movie. In this one, he's clearly the, he's clearly the, what's the term that I'm looking for?
The dumb one?
He's the dumb one, yes. That's the term that I'm looking for. He's the one who needs to be protected rather than the one who is doing the protecting. But he's still a real character. If anything, I think he has more of a personality than Mario does.
No, I think, well, maybe, but they're both very good, and I absolutely love how much Mario is being a wingman for Luigi. Like, way to go, bro.
Yeah, he wants his little brother to get some.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's such a caring brotherly relationship, but the point is they both have things to do. Luigi is, he's treated as a joke because he is, but he isn't just treated as a joke. Mm-hmm. And part of it is that John Leguizamo, not an actor I normally love, is really charming in this role. Like, Bob Hoskins is always charming. But I did not expect to have my heart go pity-pat at John Leguizamo.
You find new things whenever we do this.
Indeed you do. But we also need to talk about Fisher Stevens and Richard Ebsen,
yes,
who are my picks for MVPs of the movie.
Okay.
So I'm gonna mix up their two names because I don't think either of them is ever on screen without the other. So Fisher Stevens and Richard Ebsen play Iggy and Spike Koopa, who are characters from the games who bear no resemblance whatsoever to what we see in this film.
Yeah. The characters in the games, one is like a turtle thing. The other is a little lizard dude who pulls spike balls out of his mouth.
Yes. In this one, they are just two very 80s human-looking losers who hang around King Koopa a lot and seem to exist to do his bidding.
Now, they have character development, but not typical character development.
No.
where you have experiences that cause you to learn things.
Do they learn anything? I mean, I guess they kind of do because they're forced to by a machine that turns them into annoying college communists.
It's funny because they start out the movie as even dumber than Luigi, and then they are to be punished, and their punishment is they're evolved.
Smart. Yes.
They're evolved, and their brains grow, and
the logic behind this punishment is you will be better at doing my bidding if I make you smarter, which, okay, I respect that logic.
Yeah, and the first thing they do is start doing square roots at each other, as I guess smart people do, only in movies. I've never seen someone do this outside of a movie.
Your parents have told me you did this to them when you were 4.
I was 4.
Fair. Well, they're basically like, brilliant newborn babes, so it works out.
Okay.
They also start spitting fancy vocabulary words at each other, because that's what smart people do.
Yes, they do. And then they decide that they want to have a communist uprising against King Koopa.
These are two characters who should be unbearably annoying, and somehow they're not.
They play it just so, I don't know, so
for one thing, the two of them seem like they are the two people in this movie who are having the most fun.
As I understand it, they improvise most of their lines.
Which, that's impressive, too. The script got rewritten so many times that after a while, they just started throwing away their script pages and making stuff up.
Good choice.
Indeed, because a lot of what they come up with is pretty funny.
It really is. This is actually a funny movie.
It is. We laughed a lot. In places we were supposed to laugh.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so the two of them are a highlight as well.
Absolutely.
What'd you think of Dennis Hopper and Fiona Shaw?
Okay, they're all right.
King Koopa and Queen Petunia.
Queen Petunia.
Yes. She's Petunia Dursley, Queen Petunia.
Yes,
I don't even remember what her real name is in the movie. She's Queen Petunia.
Her real name in the movie is Lena.
Well, that's boring.
Or
She's
Lena,
Queen Petunia.
or something like that. And so I've been thinking about her a fair bit because she's the only character who doesn't obviously, well, not the only one. She doesn't obviously have any connection to the Mario Brothers games. But I'm pretty sure, if you connect the dots, that she is there primarily to be the actual mother of Bowser Jr., who shows up in Super Mario Sunshine in 2002. And I'm pretty sure Nintendo was like, hey, we're going to need you to put in a character who would presumably have sex with Dennis Hopper so that we could have Bowser Jr. show up in a video game 9 years from now.
I never thought of Bowser Jr. as having a mom.
This is like the entire plot of Super Mario Sunshine.
Never played it. I just imagined
he is told that Peach is his mom, and figures out, because Bowser Jr. is not an idiot, that Peach is obviously not his mom.
I just imagine that he sprung forth fully formed Athena style from Bowser's head.
No, he's got a mom, but we don't see who it is, but I think it's Lena.
Oh, okay. Well, she doesn't really exist by the end of this movie.
Well, I assume that she got it on some point before the end of the movie. Wait, I'll think about this more later.
That works out.
Seem to make... Maybe she laid the egg?
Maybe she laid the egg. Maybe it was in their mud worm bath that they take at one point. Yeah. Because they take a mud worm bath together. It's as sexy as it sounds. But that mud...
Bowser, sorry, I keep saying Bowser. Bowser is the American name for it.
President King Koopa.
President King Koopa, yeah. He loves mud. It's clean and dirty at the same time.
That's a line, yes.
It's a line that really reminds me of Lawrence of Arabia.
It's a line
for its brilliance.
We like the desert because it's clean. We like the mud because it's clean. Maybe that's what they were thinking of. Dennis Hopper was channeling his inner Peter O'Toole.
Yeah, I felt it.
I understand that those two performances are pretty divisive, and I also understand that Dennis Hopper really, really hated his experience on this movie.
Yes.
I liked both of them. Mm-hmm. I thought that Fiona Shaw seemed to be having a really good time chewing the scenery. She has an especially good moment near the end when she is electrocuting the parallel dimension and manages to Bride of Frankenstein herself somehow.
Well, she's trying to merge the dimensions by inserting the meteorite piece, and it definitely, Bride of Frankenstein electrifies her hair.
It backfires on her. And she gets some crazy hair that she gets to play with a little bit. But she has a really good crazy face. Mm-hmm. She also had some amazing costumes. Again, credit to costume designer whose name I forgot to look up. Yeah.
The costuming was quite something.
And I know people wanted Dennis Hopper to be a little bit more of a scenery-chewing villain, but I didn't hate that he played it a little bit understated because there was already so much scenery-chewing going on.
Yeah.
Most of it from Fisher Stevens and Richard Edson. But still, we don't always need to be out-chewing each other. It's okay for somebody to give a slightly different performance.
Yeah, absolutely. No, almost everyone in this film does a good job.
I agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree. Speaking of things that are unironically great, can we talk about the Goomba dance?
Yes, let's talk about the Goomba dance.
We can talk about the Goombas in general, which that was a choice.
It was quite a choice. So, Goombas, you may remember from the video games. I hope you've played it, but I'm old, so probably none of you have. They're these cute little guys who walk around.
They're mushrooms.
They're like
little angry mushrooms.
Little mushroom, or I think
sometimes they fly.
I think in Japanese they think they're chestnuts.
Oh,
but
they're mushrooms.
Yeah, they're little mushroom people.
But yeah, sometimes they fly.
Yeah, and they're like the most basic enemies in the game.
You bounce around on their heads and murder them.
Yeah, and they've become very cute as the games have gotten higher resolution.
Most things in Mario have just gotten progressively cuter as the games have gotten higher resolution. But yes.
Yeah, this movie takes them in an interesting direction.
It sure does. They are devolved Koopas.
Yeah, they
do not look like mushrooms in any way, shape, or form.
No, they look like
very large people with tiny, shrunken, round lizard heads.
Very tall. It's almost like they have a normal-sized person in there with their hand sticking above their head to control a puppet.
No, that can't have been it.
I'm not saying that's what they did. No, obviously they actually used a de-evolution device on the actors.
Babe, I'm trying to play dumb here. I'm sure that's something close to what they did.
But no. It's just what it looks like. It's not what they did.
Yes, of course. So the Goombas are a choice, an interesting one. Mm-hmm. The movie keeps throwing interesting things at us throughout its entire hour and 44-minute runtime, which is a feat. But the Goombas like to dance, it turns out.
It turns out they do. Was this foreshadowed before Luigi just gets this idea?
One of the Goombas plays the harmonica.
So that Goomba that plays the harmonica...
That Goomba was Toad.
Yeah, speaking of things you wouldn't expect, that Goomba started out as a character named Toad. Now, Toad... in the Mario games is an even more mushroom-like creature.
Yes, Toad, as in toadstool.
Yes, there's an endless debate that you were worried about Tenet. I am not going to poke this snake's nest about whether it's a hat or physically part of his head, but yeah.
That's fine. We don't need to talk about it, because it doesn't matter here. He's Toad for all of about 5 seconds of the movie.
Yeah, he's just a musician named Toad who gets turned into a Goomba. But he's a Goomba that has a harmonica for reasons I'm not really clear on. But yeah. Goombas, they love music.
The Goombas like to dance. And the way that we learn this is Luigi gets the idea to distract them by making them dance. Mm-hmm. Because why not?
Why not?
And so what we have, it's not even like they're not among the crowd who's rocking out to "Love Is the Drug" in the boom boom bar. They're kind of ballroom dancing.
It's a waltz.
Slow dancing. It's a waltz. Yeah.
They're dancing to a waltz.
They're dancing to a little Goomba waltz. Why not? It's a beautiful moment, and it happens more than once.
Yeah. And that's another one of the things that I'm pretty sure Nintendo told the filmmakers to put in, because they knew that about 30 years later, they'd be releasing a video game called Super Mario Wonder, in which the characters would dance and sing during the gameplay.
Okay, but even without that particular conspiracy theory, the Goombas do have like a little wiggle that they do.
It's true. The Goombas do have a wiggle.
They have a little bit of a dance-like movement there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think that this is perfectly compatible with all Mario canon. The Goombas like to dance.
Everything in this movie is canon.
Especially Yoshi.
Oh, clearly. Ugh.
Which, great puppet. What good puppet work.
Yeah. No,
or animatronics or whatever that was.
Yeah. Because definitely not CG, because it looks way too good to be CG.
A thing that I thought they were going to do that I'm super glad they didn't do, because it would have been a bad thing, was that I thought they were making Yoshi be Daisy's dad.
The thought crossed my mind as well.
There's a point where it seems to be heavily implied that Yoshi, who is a little like dinosaur puppy, basically, except he really looks like a tiny dinosaur. Like he's a cute version of the velociraptors from Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm. But not that cute.
And it is certainly implied at one point, just based on the order in which things are said, that Yoshi is the de-evolved version of Daisy's dad. Mm-hmm. But he's not.
Thankfully, no.
He's just a
good dog.
pet. He's just a puppy that they keep around. Yes. Mm-hmm. And a very cute puppy.
Yeah.
No, the de-evolved version of Daisy's dad is a snot-covered fungus.
Yeah, apparently it's a gigantic fungus that is consuming the entire kingdom.
Which that was a choice on Koopa's part.
Like, I assume it's one of two things. Either they decided that the fungus would be her dad because it was the only thing that sort of made the plot make sense. Mm-hmm. Or they were just kind of riffing on the recurring occurrence in Super Mario Bros. 3, where the kings of all of the different regions are turned into different animals, like a spider or a snake or something like that, and Mario has to turn them back.
Maybe?
I think that you should take that with exactly as much seriousness as all of the other connections that I've been suggesting to the Mario games.
Sounds good. Despite the overall unappealing look of this fungus, because they decided that it should continually drip snot, which I guess, gives a sense of pathos for Daisy's poor father and his fate, until he turns back into Lance Henriksen at the end. They use it in really creative ways, though. I love the fungus trampoline that Mario bounces around on for no reason at one point.
I mean, why not?
It looks like
everyone loves trampolines.
Looks like he's going to fall to his death, and then he bounces around on a fungus trampoline. Mm-hmm. And he and Luigi have a touching brotherly moment.
Yeah.
And it is. It's a really touching brotherly moment.
But it was also a funny moment when Luigi realizes that he's just stuck.
Yes. That was a really good moment, because Luigi has thrown himself into this fungus-covered pipe cavern thing. Unclear what is going on.
And he thinks he's flying.
And I think I even said something about, okay, that's a really obvious wire. And then it turns out that he's just hanging from a hook and doesn't realize it.
And then he realizes he's hanging from the hook, and he's like, wait, no, Mario, no, don't.
But it's okay, because the fungus trampoline catches Mario. The littlest things in this movie make me so happy.
It's a movie that, yeah, I don't know. Would you describe this as being greater than the sum of its parts, or?
I think so.
But not because they come together in a special way. I'd argue because they don't.
Indeed. The parts are quite disjointed, but I can't imagine the version of the movie where they fit together any better than they do. There's this continual running bit, too, about King Koopa ordering a pizza that never actually pays off.
Yeah, I think that might have gotten edited out of the film.
I think it did, but I'm actually okay with the fact that it never pays off.
Yeah, me too.
Because it adds to the absurdity of the whole thing. It's even starting from the fact that he ordered a pizza with dino meat on it, which means that it's a cannibal pizza.
I mean, I guess it would be similar to us ordering a pizza with mammal meat, which we do.
I mean, maybe? But it's been established that they're dinosaurs, hasn't it? They're evolved dinosaurs.
You do know that dinosaurs are a wide variety of species.
I guess. I don't know. Okay, fair. But I like thinking of it as a cannibal pizza.
Okay.
And he never actually gets his cannibal pizza.
No, doesn't. I don't think so. It doesn't happen on screen anyway.
No. Anyway, this is, I'm sorry that some of the actors didn't have a good time on it, and it completely wrecked the directors' careers. It completely wrecked a few people's careers. But I had a great time watching it.
Yeah.
Is there anything we haven't covered that we still need to cover about it?
One thing that we might need to cover is the ending of the movie, where they save the day, they go back home.
Luigi makes some schmoopy faces at Daisy because they can't be together. She has to go rule the...
She has
to go be princess of Dino York.
She has to go be princess of Dino York, but later on, we know she is going to become the princess of Sarasaland. Maybe they're going to rename Dino York to Sarasaland.
Maybe.
But that is the land that she's the princess of in Super Mario Land from 1989.
Ah.
But also the ending, when she comes back, kitted out for combat.
Uh-huh.
We have to go, there's a problem. That is clearly, they are foreshadowing Waluigi. They are foreshadowing that Waluigi is coming, and they are doing this 7 years prior to Waluigi's initial debut in Mario Tennis for the Nintendo 64.
How much
Nintendo is playing the long game on this.
How
I'm telling
much
you.
time did you spend thinking about the various ways to unconvincingly tie this movie into existing Mario lore?
It only makes sense if you just look at it all. There's no other way to interpret it.
That is an answer to a different question than the one that I asked.
I believe it may be, yes.
Okay, got it. All right. So, anything else?
Yeah, no, I actually really enjoyed this. It was it's different than how I remembered it. Probably because I could hear it better because I wasn't on a bus.
That
with a
sometimes
bunch
helps.
of noisy people. Yeah. But yeah, it's got that 90s charm, and it is also, as you point out, totally insane.
Uh-huh. All right, so how about me? How many stars?
I think that you gave this movie 3.5 stars and a heart.
Where the heck did I write it down? I wrote it down. Where is it? Oh,
Oh, 2.5 stars and a heart. Okay.
2.5 and a heart. Yeah. It's not good, but it's a lot of fun.
No, it's not good, but it is a lot of fun.
Like, my heart said 3.5 and a heart, and then my brain started getting in the way. But no, like, this movie's reputation is incorrect. Let's put it that way. Because I was set up for an absolutely grueling slog, and that is not what I got. This is the sort of movie that was destined to lose buckets of money because of the amount of, not even just dollars, but hubris and accumulated goodwill and desire to experiment that was spent on it. And I have such a soft spot for that kind of movie. Mm-hmm. And this is a beautiful example of the destined to lose money genre.
Yeah, and you can compare this to Mario 23, which was, I think you could probably describe it as playing it as safe as you could possibly play it.
Correct.
And this is anything but.
This is not safe. This is not a spiritual predecessor to Mario 2023. This is a spiritual predecessor to Street Fighter 1994.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it is. In a good way.
Yes. Another movie that I have an incredible, large 2.5 star and a heart-shaped spot in my heart for. Because these, like, it's an impossible project. There is no way. There was no way to make these movies in a way that was going to satisfy all the people that they needed to satisfy. And so they chose to satisfy absolutely nobody. And I think it worked out. Except for me. More people should make movies just for me. Mm-hmm. Is the moral of this story. They will lose tons of money, but I will be happy, and that is a good outcome.
Definitely. So I'm glad I could introduce this to you.
Indeed, and now we own it on DVD or Blu-ray.
That's a DVD.
Because it is impossible to find this movie on streaming.
Yeah, no, it doesn't stream. I don't know why. I can't imagine why this doesn't stream anywhere.
Me neither. Come on, Disney.
Sure, Disney does own the rights.
They do, and considering the amount of utter garbage they have available for streaming...
You would actually think, given that... So, maybe partly because of this, when Nintendo decided to make a theme park, they explicitly went against Disney and put it in Universal Studios. So if Disney wanted to, like, punch back at Nintendo, which would be the better revenge? Putting this movie on streaming or not putting it on streaming?
Well, obviously, I think they should put it on streaming.
Yeah. Well, they seem to have decided the other way.
All right, from my lips to Disney's ears. Well, thank you for giving me this great movie to watch.
I'll have to try harder next time.
Will you, though? Will you? Will you break me on your third attempt? We shall see.
We shall see.
And in the meantime, thank you as always for listening, and we have more great stuff coming up for you this month, so please make sure that you tune in every Tuesday. Bye!
Bye!